This episode of Good Morning Wilmington is brought to you by DART, Delaware's public transit service, moving you forward.
Delaware. This is DETV's Good Morning Wilmington. Hey guys, good morning.
Good morning.
How
How you guys doing?
I'm good. I'm excited to have you back.
Yes.
I'm
Where'd
happy
you
to be
go?
back.
I know.
We were looking
were all
for
over
you
the
last.
place.
No, I was skipping here, skipping there.
Did
trying
you
to
have
get some
fun?
good work
Frolicking.
done, a little bit of fun.
Yeah.
A mixture of business and fun. I had a good time. I was in Atlantic City and then Manheim, PA, which is Amish country.
Ooh.
Yes, it was loads of fun,
What's
lots of
out
good
there?
food. For
Horse and
Manheim,
buggies.
PA.
That's what I thought.
Yeah.
Okay.
What
It'll
was
show
that?
my ignorance.
Horse and buggies.
Horse and buggies,
Yeah.
yes,
Good to know.
yes, indeed.
Good to know.
Lots of traffic because they, they're out on the prowl on Thursdays and Fridays. But yeah, it was
Okay.
lots of fun. Good
Was anyone
scenery,
wearing
too.
any masks?
I did see people wearing
You
masks.
did?
It was
Okay.
not extremely common, but there were some people still taking precautions.
Wow.
Indeed, yeah.
I still see them
Yeah.
around here, though.
Yeah.
But you
yeah.
know,
every once in a
you
while.
get to pick and choose.
You
Yeah.
do,
You know.
do. Well, right
Business is
now,
going
school districts are getting ready to have to decide on how we're going to decide
Definitely.
with these masks. They're not expecting teachers or those that are vaccinated to be masked, but
Yeah.
Now, I'm curious because not everyone has been vaccinated, especially
Yeah.
children. You know, 12 was the youngest age that you could get vaccinated.
Right.
So how do you kind of decipher who's going to wear a mask and who is not?
Yeah.
yeah.
It's interesting because, the CDC is sort of lifting this and everything, but it's up to the school districts to make
Yeah.
the
It is.
decision on
It
how they
is.
want to
It
handle
is.
this.
So
I mean, essentially, the state of emergency was lifted July 13th.
Yep.
So, we're no longer in that pandemic state, but we're still dealing with, ramifications
Well,
of COVID.
for those
Yeah.
of you that are getting ready to get back to school, pay attention to school districts will be coming out with some general rules of how we're going to get ready for deciding on who should be wearing masks and who shouldn't.
Most definitely.
It's going to be real interesting.
Well, and the other thing that I think is really interesting about this too is if it is up to the school districts, how does this play out? I mean, especially when it comes to the vaccinations. Are they can they require both teachers and students to be vaccinated in order to return? Or how is this going to play out?
There are in order to, as a parent, when you go and register your child for school, there are certain vaccinations that are required. So I don't know if, and it doesn't sound like COVID, the COVID vaccine is going to be one of them, but I'm curious if they would include that into the series of vaccination shots.
It's going to be
I mean, and how do you feel with your, because your daughter's going to be going back to school. How do you feel about all of this?
So she's not 12, so
Right.
she's not eligible to get the vaccination yet. I'm all for taking precautions, continuing for her to wear her mask, even when she is with her friends playing or wherever it is that we go. We usually wear a mask just to be safe. You can never be too safe.
Exactly.
Indeed, and not everywhere I go. I wear my mask, but in certain settings where it's not a controlled environment, I definitely wear my mask, and I encourage my daughter to do the same.
Yeah.
Now she hasn't so when we go in when the school year starts in the fall, this will be the first time her going back, right? Or did she go last year at all?
So I had her in hybrid. So she would go on Thursdays and Fridays, and in my little weird parent brain, the way I had this figured was, and this is no shade to her school district because it's an amazing school district.
shade.
She went
Let's
to
make
an
that clear.
amazing elementary school. However, there were cohorts in which they had the kids going back. She was a part of cohort 2. So there were already children that returned into the school building before I kind of was like, all right, maybe so.
Yeah.
But I did not want her to be a part of that Monday, Tuesday group because you had parents who maybe weren't so sitting still and they wanted to do a bunch of things over the weekend and take their kids.
Okay.
And then on Mondays, you had kids and teachers who were calling out sick.
Yeah.
So let's, you guys
Skip
get
that.
that together, and then,
This was
Thursday,
pre-COVID?
Friday. No, this
was during.
COVID. Wow.
Yeah, last
Yeah.
school year. Last school year.
Interesting.
And
So
the-
did you guys hear about the Euro Cup?
I
Did I
did.
get that right?
that was such
Euro
a big
Cup.
deal.
Yeah.
Italy played England, and
Yeah.
yet
Yes,
Italy
it did.
won but they won after the game.
And so
How do you do that?
it was in the overtime.
You know what?
What do you know about soccer?
Listen, I'm gonna tell you something about some soccer. No, but I just didn't get it. And then if you could only have seen, what was it? Who's the prince? I forget his name.
Prince George.
Yes.
His face, it was priceless.
You felt it.
I did.
You felt Prince George's
They
face
thought they
in
were
those
on
pictures.
something because they had a tie.
You felt his excitement during that score,
Italy-
and then his
Italy
face at
came
the
in
end.
with the swoosh. And I was like,
Indeed.
Yeah.
I don't know how
But
they do
listen, this was such a big win because they haven't won since like 1968 or something like
I
that.
read that.
in the late 60s.
Yeah.
In the late
So
60s,
that was
yeah.
like a really big deal. I can only imagine the parties over there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you know, I find it really hard to believe that it's been that long since Italy won the Euro
Yeah.
Cup.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Because it's, I mean, I don't know. That was a.
There are some other countries that hold it down.
They do.
They
Yes.
do. They do.
I mean,
Most
soccer's
definitely.
big. I mean, I know my family. We've talked to them before. My family in Ireland, of course, they're big. They're big soccer fans. Some of my cousins over there. So,
Okay.
but I mean, England's like, yes, of course, they love the English team. But there's other
Yeah.
teams that they were rooting for. But
Well,
Yeah.
I know in Europe they got great sports. They also have great concerts. I don't know if have you been to any concerts when you were in Ireland at all? Or
a while ago, yeah, like so. Not to date myself, but like one of my trips. I don't want to make myself talk about my age, but
You're only 29.
yes, I'm 29. But so I'll say like 10 years ago. Then I was there visiting family, and we went into like Belfast and Dublin,
Okay.
and we good time.
nice.
Nice.
Well, and then speaking of concerts, we got some opportunities
Yes.
to buy your tickets.
That's right.
Go down to the riverfront to hear some
$30.
awesome opera music.
Yeah.
Opera Delaware,
Opera
yeah.
Delaware
Bring a
is
chair.
bringing in. Bring your lawn chair. Bring your
Yep.
family. So that's getting ready to start up.
Yeah,
I'm excited.
I think July 22nd, 23rd
Yeah.
is. What do they have
Yes.
going on that day? They have.
I don't remember who
I can't remember his name.
I can't
The
either,
guys
but I
either.
know it's like a big ticket item.
Yeah.
Big
Yes.
ticket performer, excuse
Yeah.
me.
For all those that are loving the opera music, make sure you get yourself down to the riverfront.
Definitely.
So and
Bring your chair.
and sign
Blanket.
up, Opera Delaware, $30 tickets.
Yeah.
So it's gonna be nice. And it's nice too. It's summertime.
Yes,
I know
be outside.
everyone's gonna be running to get and just to be able to hang out.
Yep.
Yes.
So I know it's gonna be a whole lot of fun.
I mean, there's just so much happening down at the riverfront right
It
now.
really is.
Yeah.
I mean, I think you can go down there any night of the week, and I feel like there's something happening, which is great because, like, last week when we had Yvette Buckner on, we were
She was
talking
just
about
talking about
this.
that. Some
Yeah, she was
concerts.
just talking
Yeah.
about that, and I know that they're pairing up with Opera Delaware as well for some certain things for the summer concert series.
That's right.
So it's there's always something going on, which I love, and we were talking
Definitely.
about this last week. The cool thing about it is, especially after being in lockdown for as long as we were, coming back and getting to see, the community coming back together again.
Indeed. And not just that, but performing arts.
Yes.
You know, getting back into the swing and having people go back to their profession and making money. That's the big
Absolutely.
deal, you
Yeah,
know?
it is.
Again, because we talk often about how the performing arts have suffered. So it's
Yeah.
really cool to see
Yeah.
everything getting back into full swing, people getting back to work,
Right.
and we get to come outside.
Exactly.
I'm excited for the arts community to be able to get
Indeed.
back out themselves.
Yeah.
So it's gonna be good.
I mean, and just side note for this, because yes, it is outside. Take water, you guys.
Please.
It is so
Please
hot.
take water
Please.
because
Oh my
this
gosh.
heat these past
Please
couple
do.
weeks.
I melt like 5 times a day.
Heat
it's
wave.
crazy.
Yeah, it's been getting to me a
It's
little bit. I don't
sin.
know about you guys.
This is a sin.
It's been getting to me a little
And
bit.
it's crazy because I love summer.
Me too.
I'm a very big advocate for summer. I love warm weather.
Yep.
However, it gets really like excruciatingly hot.
Yeah.
I like the summer by the beach.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
what I like.
Well, see, and it's funny, like, I'm like you, like, I'm a total summer, like, I'm not complaining, because I'd
I'm
much
not
rather be
complaining
hot
either.
than cold.
Any day.
Ooh,
Any
I
day.
do not like being cold. But this heat the past, like, couple weeks, man, this is the first year it's actually kind of, it's bothered me a little bit.
Yeah, so other than this hot weather, we have some other hot changes that are taking place. We get to sit down with Chrissi Rawak. She's the athletic director over at University of Delaware. So I'm gonna go jog over and take a sit down with her and get caught up on some changes that the NCAA has made. So here we go.
We're doing a lot of talking here in Washington, in the Senate, about infrastructure. What's that really mean? Well, if we move forward on the bipartisan infrastructure plan that I'm supporting, that's going to mean millions more dollars for Delaware and Delawareans to improve Amtrak and SEPTA, to improve our roads and bridges up and down the state, to make sure we've got better access to broadband so that your cell phone calls don't drop as you drive up and down the state, so that kids can get access to Wi-Fi for school, and we can take advantage of telemedicine. I'm excited about a $580 billion new proposal for infrastructure for this country. But more than anything, I'm interested about how this will create good, high-paying jobs in Delaware and make our state easier to live in, more equitable and just, and more accessible in this digital age. For more information, go to my website, coons.senate.gov. Thanks.
All right, and now we're here with the University of Delaware's Athletic Director, Chrissi Rawak. She's going to talk to us about some exciting changes that are going on. Hi, Chrissi, how are you today?
Good morning, how are you? Nice to see
Good
you.
morning, I'm very well. Thank you so much for having a moment to share with me so we can talk.
Absolutely.
So listen, there's so much going on right now in the athletic realm. So the Supreme Court, they've made some changes to the NCAA, and how about you tell us about it?
Absolutely, happy to. So, you know, one of the things that happened was the Supreme Court ruling, but then also really the big catalyst was the NCAA allowing student athletes to be able to utilize their name, image, and likeness for financial resources, if you will, and other support that would not compromise their amateurism. So you know, when that happened, one of the things that I'm really proud of at Delaware, we were prepared. Because of the types of things that are really necessary in order for you to be able to prepare a student athlete or any student for that matter to be able to utilize those skills and to be able to capitalize is branding, financial acumen, tax preparation, networking, those types of things. So those were all things that actually we have a program called Blue, which is Building Leaders Utilizing Education. That we were doing. We've been doing it for now 4 years.
Are you serious? So this is something you already had in place?
We already had in place.
Interesting. So that was going to be my question. With these changes, I was going to ask, how are you guys responding? But you already have had a program in place.
Yes, and now what's fun about it too is it will become even more relevant to the student athletes much more quickly. Before, we were doing these things because we knew as you leave college, what we want to be doing is ensuring that our student athletes are career ready, life ready, and not just, you don't just get that in the academic space.
This is so true.
In the athletic arena, there's other skills you need to be building. And so that was a commitment that we made when I first got to Delaware. So again, it's just the relevancy of it that we need to make sure is clear. And it is. It's something that we're excited about. We're welcoming this change because it really is giving our student athletes an opportunity that all students have had. But they just haven't had the opportunity to capitalize.
So tell me a little more about the program. You mentioned some of the topics that are covered. Give me a little more detail. What is it that you guys actually cover, and how do you really tie it into the changes that are taking place now, bringing it up to date?
Yeah, absolutely. I think one of the first things, and it's maybe not the first thing that our student athletes think about, is like, what are your values and what are the brands you want to be associated with? So we take time to be able to help them explore that and really align with, what are the things that I want to be representing? What are the things I want to be associated with? So just starting there. And then also, like I said, the financial component. I mean, one of the things that is going to be taking place for them is they're going to get paid by these outside entities. So they're not paid by the university. They're paid by outside entities. So they're going to have to pay taxes on that income that they earn.
So, and I want to just kind of pause right here with this. So there's a lot of feedback that I have either heard or read where people are under the belief that the school is going to pay the athlete for their name, image, or likeness. So you're saying that the facility is actually not going to do that?
No, the university has nothing to do with the payment of name, image, and likeness to any student athletes, and we can't even do what I'll call kind of the matchmaking. I mean, this is all being driven by the student athletes. And that's why the skills of understanding values, understanding brand, what do you want to be associated with, how do you pitch your brand? So developing those skills and putting them in that position then allows them to go out to third parties to be able to connect with them. It also is going to allow them to, we have a lot of talented student athletes, not just on the field or of play, is artists, musicians, and also their athletic talent. Now they can actually run a camp and be paid for that, whereas before they couldn't do that. So all of these things are things that they are really going to be able to utilize.
So help me understand, how does this tie into recruitment? Because on the collegiate level, you have, you want to go and seek out high school athletes and attract them to your university. How does this change play into recruitment?
So for us, it really doesn't. I mean, again, because we've been doing it.
Okay.
And to be honest, since I got here now 5 years ago, our focus has been recruiting game changers, people that want to leave a legacy, that are committed to their academic and their athletic experience and want to grow as people. And so that focus isn't changing. We still want to bring people in and make sure that they have the very best experiences, a world-class education at the University of Delaware. And so it hasn't changed. I mean, I think, again, it just continues to feed into what we've been doing and will continue to do.
Wow, this is so awesome. So, geez, there are so many. I was watching ESPN, and this was maybe the top of the summer. They were running a story on some twin girls who play basketball.
The billboard
Yes. So, and this is where I first came privy to the conversation of athletes being able to monetize their name, image, or likeness. So, being able to go and figure out your branding, understand what you'd like to go after, so you can monetize. There are so many different opportunities for people to be able to do so. Is there any kind of conflicts or any kind of boundaries that have to be placed around student athletes being able to do this, or?
At this moment in time, no. And a bunch that is oftentimes dependent on state legislation and university policy, because right now there's an NCAA policy, but it's pretty broad.
Okay.
So, in this moment in time, there aren't parameters outside of the things that would compromise your amateurism. So like gambling, right, and representing alcohol. I mean, those are
so like a morality clause.
Exactly right, exactly
okay.
right. And so the NCAA obviously has that. We are working right now to develop an institutional policy. The state of Delaware does not have a law, so we have to develop our own, which is perfectly fine. It gives us the opportunity to do that. But it really is. It's more of those types of things that are, I would say, the student athletes have to be really conscious of. I think the other thing is each university has a student conduct policy. So within the student conduct policy, and that would be, again, for any student, and that's the beauty of this, is the student athletes are now able to do things that all students have been able to do for a very, very long time, but they all need to fall under the same set of guidelines and expectations, because they are students first. They're student
This sounds more
athletes
inclusive, and a lot of times you look at student athletes and it just seems as if they're so, I don't want to say above, but just set apart from the rest of the student body. They have a different set of, there's a different structure.
Different experience.
A different experience, a different structure when you're a student athlete versus the general population who maybe focuses on other activities or classes. So it's really interesting to hear. Now, I'm curious if, so there's a student code of conduct. Of course, the school has some standards that you guys, your values that you stand to. This will play a part into how students move forward with selecting where to go to school. But I can't imagine, does every school, and I don't know if you could speak up to it or not, does every school have a difference in their values?
I mean, I would say most student codes of conduct are probably similar.
I would think so
across
too.
Universities, so I don't think that you would find that to be any different across.
Okay, alrighty. Yeah. This is really interesting, and there are so many, just the way it's 2021, a lot of social media. Everyone, even smaller children, are thinking about how to get onto social media and monetize themselves, their lives. Oh, I want sponsorships. Oh, I want this. Oh, I want that. So it's kind of cool to be able to help student athletes. I hate to say cash in, but be able to monetize their name, likeness, and their image, so they're able to, whether it be help provide for their families or pay for college if they're not on scholarship. Indeed. Are there any other changes or updates or anything else you'd like to share with us about the program that you guys have running and how you're responding to these changes from the Supreme Court?
Yeah, I think that it's it's a bit of an ever-changing landscape. And again, it wasn't so much about the Supreme Court ruling; it was really what the NCAA brought to the table and created for everybody. I think that the one thing that is important for folks to really understand is this isn't a pay for play, which I think is one of the things that can get lost.
That's important to know.
It is. It's really about them being able to, like you said, capitalize and monetize their name, image, and likeness for them to be able to expand their skill sets and their experiences, be entrepreneurial. I mean, these are all things that we want to encourage and develop in young people so that, again, as they're leaving their universities, that they're prepared and they're ready and they've had experiences that all other students have been able to have as well.
Definitely.
So I'm excited. We're excited about it. We're welcoming the opportunity. We're going to continue to support it in ways for our student athletes to be successful.
This is so awesome. Listen, I really appreciate your time again, Chrissi, for getting us this update and letting us know what University of Delaware has already had in place and that you guys are already prepared to keep up with these NCAA changes that have taken place. So again, thank you so much. And we're going to go right back over to the couch.
That was an awesome interview, Kristen. Learned a lot of what's going on.
Really interesting.
Listen, I'm really excited. Yeah. So to be able to own your name, image, and likeness, and to be able to monetize it as a college athlete, that's a big deal.
Huge. And I remember it started in California. I remember when I was working. Actually, right when I left City Council, I remember hitting up Councilman Bash Turner because it was a big deal for California when LeBron James and the governor of California, Gavin Newsom, when they proposed it. I was like, we need to jump on this.
Definitely.
Well, you can get a lot of resources as a student when you get those kind of rights. So
be able to afford, paying for your tuition if you're not on a full scholarship, or helping to, your family with paying bills.
It's a good life lesson then for them too. I mean, because if they're playing in in college, and if they want to go pro, that's a good life lesson for them to get that practice in now and being able to understand it.
Being able to own your own business, yourself as a product.
You don't have to worry about a student even having to worry about debt. They're sitting there, you're treat me, pay me my worth. Don't just let the university benefit from it, and you're expecting me to maintain a certain GPA while also doing the sport that the university is benefiting from. I think
you get to apply everything you're learning in live motion, in real time, instead of after you're finished or after you move on and go to the pros or whatever the case may be. So it's really awesome. And the University of Delaware, I applaud you because you guys have had this program in place for the last 4 years. So that was really awesome. I did not know that.
I didn't know that either.
This is huge. This is huge. And just those relationships alone, it speaks a lot to the university looking out for the students.
Yes, definitely.
So, and it's speaking of relationships, I don't know if you guys did you hear about Britney Spears?
Listen, that 13-year-long.
Britney, I'm praying for you, girl. That's a lot.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
You know what's because I know they just the recent thing that I just heard of is that she was given the right to choose her own attorney and representation. That's kind of a no-brainer, I would think, to me.
You would think, but the way that things were structured for her, it's a conservatorship. She really was.
But this trial is about the conservatorship. So, for me, it was of course, I feel like she should be able to choose her own representation in this matter.
You would think,
You would think that was kind of a no-brainer in this scenario, right?
I know. But the way this is going to unfold, bit by bit, she's going to be able to, their hope is to have her take back control.
Correct.
So I really hope it works out for her.
What is she getting at?
Control!
If she wins?
Yes. What does she get at?
I think she gets her independence back. I mean, I don't know about anything monetary. Do you
And
know
it's her dad that's been
I don't know
holding it?
anything monetary.
Her dad, and there was another one, I think. I think there was
At one point, there was her mother.
There's, for so long, I've seen way too many celebrities that are new to the entertainment game, signing contracts, not reading, having someone there. And parents taking advantage of it.
Taking us back to Britney started off as a Mickey Mouse Club member.
But that's my point. There's so many celebrities that start off young, new addition. The list is long.
So
of how
there's
many
always
folks.
going to be some adult who's going to take control of these minors.
Yeah, wow.
So for a lot of children, it's only natural for it to be your parent. You know, it's your parent. You trust your parents. So
But
why
then you
not?
can't even trust your parent in Brittany's case. Now that's a problem.
Well, I mean,
That's
the
a
thing
problem.
is, this is not, unfortunately, sadly, this is not anything new. I mean, you could look at Judy Garland as an example.
Yes.
I mean,
indeed.
what happened in her scenario. I mean,
Very similar. Very similar.
yeah, unfortunately, this is a harsh truth and a reality for these children's stars.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Whose parents, and you have to, because I mean, as a performing arts major myself, my mom and my parents, they didn't like push me into anything like that. I naturally came across it myself. And I remember being like older when I was really getting into it and asking my parents, like, why didn't you let me get into this stuff?
Yeah.
And it was because Mom was like,
Indeed.
it was your decision, it was your choice, and I was not going to make that for you.
That's how it was with modeling in my world. I wanted to model, and I had been scouted a couple of times, and my mom was just very much like, I'm not a part of that world, and I don't want you to be in it because I'm not aware, and I'm not alert, and I don't feel comfortable having you go into that world. And turning me over to someone who, would have control of those
For your
decisions.
protection.
She didn't want to do that.
For your
so.
protection.
Well, and one of the things that even my mom had pointed out was she's like, and even if you had asked for it and I supported it and we went through it, she goes, I wanted you to have a normal childhood anyway. So, I think you have. I don't know. It's one of those things. It's nothing new, and it's a sad reality.
Indeed. Now there are so many legal woes that can come along with it. So I really hope the best for Brittany. I hope that she gets
This is a big
whatever
legal
she's
case.
achieving.
It is.
It's a very large legal case.
I mean, so many
Yeah.
people have been following it and support. I mean, her loyal fans have been really, active and being boisterous about the whole thing. So.
And speaking of legal case, did you guys hear about Mr. Elon Musk?
Oh, yeah,
right
local.
here in Delaware.
Right here in
Local.
Delaware.
Yes.
Yeah.
I saw the guy when he was walking in the courtroom, and I was like, "This."
I think I saw footage or a photo
No,
of it.
I wanted to go down there.
You went down and saw. Did you?
Snuck out of the office and just ran down there.
Trying to be
I was
in the
like,
mix. Yes.
Can I get a Tesla?
Oh, Jordan.
I just thought, ask not, want not. So,
Yeah.
but how do you guys feel about this? And it's a family issue.
Yeah, it's
That's
another
what I find
family issue.
Another family
So
dynamic.
It's really interesting because, you have to be very careful how you go into business. This was something, I think it was probably innocent, but at the same time, it's kind of commingling because it's a conflict of interest. You're doing business with your family, some cousins.
That's a rule of thumb for me.
Solar City,
Do not hire family.
Well, I think the bigger issue with this, and correct me if I'm wrong, because I thought I read something about it, was when this whole thing started, he had the most shares.
Yes.
So
That
he
is-
had
that
the
was the
most
problem.
He
to
did.
benefit
He
from
did.
it.
Yeah.
So there was this,
Conflict of interest.
Yep.
Yeah,
Huge.
he has the most shares. It's his cousins who own this business. He has all these shares, and there's a part of it that my mind is going blank and I forget. But and that's why they're in court because these shareholders, they came to understand that he has the most shares. It's a family-owned business that it just doesn't look good at all. So he stands to lose a lot of money, but for Elon,
like
Musk,
$2 billion. I think
Forbes
it's
has
like
already
$2
got-
billion.
Yeah, Forbes has already got.
And he's
laid
worth
for
like $163 billion.
$163 billion.
For him, that's
So
like buying
that's a drop in a bucket.
Yeah.
So
Please.
you
Yeah.
run me that and the Tesla, maybe.
And the Tesla.
Just one or the other, I'm okay with. So, but and then speaking of Tesla, we're getting ready. At least I had the pleasure to sit down with Miss Enid Wallace-Simms from Delmarva Power.
I know.
To talk about energy, since that's
Right.
what Tesla's all about,
Energy
right?
conservation.
Conserving energy,
Definitely.
and in this heat wave that we were just talking about,
Yes.
you need to figure out ways to conserve energy because that brother is hot at home.
And
I'm literally leaving my fans
Yes,
on.
and I will tell you
and
what,
the
I
air
am
conditioning.
terrified
Jeez.
to see my electric bill every month right now.
Listen, him
Terrified.
saying that he leaves his fans on and the AC.
Yeah.
Yeah, nope.
I don't want to see what your.
Don't do
I don't
that.
want to know what yours
Yeah,
looks like.
Yeah.
So
I don't wanna know.
it's intense when that bill comes.
I know.
So to see,
I hold my breath.
So to see Miss Enid, I was like, oh.
Yeah.
So we're gonna go sit down and have a little chat with Enid Wallace-Simms from Delmarva Power.
Government doesn't make a move without an agenda, some type of plan. The problem is we haven't been on the agenda. Sometimes we're overlooked. Sometimes our interests aren't the interest of those in power. I'm your host, Kerwin Gaines, on DETV's new show, The Agenda. We're going to do our best to ensure that you, Delawareans, are knowledgeable about what's going on in the Assembly. Federal government, local government, it doesn't matter. We're going to do our best to ensure that folks that make the agenda on a daily basis have to answer for it. Let them explain what they're doing. If it affects you, it's on the agenda.
So we have the pleasure of sitting down with the Senior Public Relations Director, Miss Enid Wallace-Simms. How are you, Miss Enid?
I'm wonderful.
Thanks for being here. Now, Miss Enid, it's getting hot outside, and I'm sweating, and I'm leaving my fans and my air conditioned, and everything else is just running in my house. And I love you, but I don't love when that bill comes in. What should I be doing?
You need to close your drapes.
Okay.
Today is Monday. You had them all open all weekend.
Yeah.
So you need to close the blinds. You need to close the drapes. You need to set your air conditioner. You can leave your fans on low, but you need to set your air conditioner and forget it.
Now, before we even go into that, 'cause thank you for that tip. So for all those that are watching, make sure you remember that, because with the summer now being here, folks are trying to get outside. COVID had everyone cooped in. In your position, help me understand, what does your exact role do with Delmarva Power?
I am actually the public affairs manager for the city of Wilmington.
Okay.
So I work with the mayor, the administration, the emergency services partnerships.
Okay.
I actually work with the community organizations to make sure that everybody clearly understands what Delmarva has to offer.
Gotcha.
We are an Exelon company now, so we are broader. We are in Delaware, Maryland, New Jersey, New York, Chicago.
Okay.
So we're a larger organization. And then when it comes to corporate contributions, I actually sit down with the corporate contributions team and we talk about where we're going to put our money, where the need is greatest. And then we actually have set up where we're talking about equality and diversity and making sure that what we're doing is impacting the whole community, not just a few.
Right. And now, while I was joking with you, I might not like seeing that bill because I'm being a detriment to my own self by leaving the fans on. You guys, you're definitely spot on for saying that, you are investing into the community, because I've seen it firsthand. You guys are taking millions of dollars to benefit the low income areas. Tell us a little bit about that. Like, how are you guys investing in the community? I've seen it, but I know some of our viewers.
Some of what we do is actually we have courses and you can go online. We have a tool online that's called My Account.
Okay.
So you put the demographics of your residents in there. So if you have heating and what type of heating you have, air conditioners, the number of windows that you have, whether or not you have insulation in the walls. Those type of things are what you put into the My Account system, and then it goes in and evaluates, because we have you on AMI meters, which are automated meter system. You can actually go in hourly to see how much money you're spending if you use the tool. So you have to sign up for the tool. You have to put the demographics of your household, and then your telephone number and your email address. Those are all very important. And then you can monitor yourself and see when there's peak times, like if you and your family leave at 9 o'clock in the morning and somebody comes home at 12 o'clock noon, you can see where the energy is starting to be used. If they turn on the stove, if you leave your cell phone charger plugged in all day.
I'm guilty of that. I'm guilty of that. That's why I was looking at you like that. I was like, I don't know if I want to monitor.
Same amount of electricity whether you have the phone on there or not.
Okay.
So what we make a recommendation to people to do, and with appliances, our TVs are all instant on now. So constantly you're burning electricity all day, every day.
Wow.
So if you invest in the strips where you can just hit that one thing and shut everything off, it's to your advantage.
So could customers go to Delmarva's website to look for those kind of power strips
No, we don't sell the power strips.
Oh, okay.
You have to go to the big box stores.
Oh, okay.
I can't advertise the big box stores.
Got you. Good to know. Good to know.
But you can go to the big box store and buy a surge protector.
Okay.
Basically, that's what it is.
Oh, okay.
And actually, you keep the power on or you can turn the power off. And when you come in the from a day's work. You just hit the button, turn everything on, and in a few minutes, everything is instantaneous anyway.
Now, you guys also help individuals that are conserving energy. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, Delmarva's doing a little match kind of thing for those that are helping with conserving energy?
Energy-wise program. So in the summertime, when the air conditioning is cranking up,
Right.
what we have is an energy-wise program, which actually will, when it's a peak day for us, when most of the electricity, say 12 o'clock noon, and everybody has everything on.
Yeah.
What we do is actually cycle your air conditioning. So you have a special meter that is put on your system, and we can actually cycle your air conditioning off or lower, which is higher when you really think about it. The temperature could be at 80 degrees rather than being at the 70 where you're more comfortable. And then as the day goes on and we don't need as much power, then we cycle you back to where you normally are, and it saves money for you, and we pay you to do that, and it saves time and energy, and it takes the load off of our system. Because it's a strain in the middle of the day at 12 o'clock.
The sun's at its highest.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, so the heat is beaming in. And I just think about so many seniors, my grandmother, I think about her when she's at home and the sun's hot, she's got the air on. But that's good to know that you guys are helping and supplying these actual resources.
To cut down on your energy costs, people don't realize a lot, and especially the seniors, they don't realize that having a lot of food in your refrigerator actually saves energy, because what happens is the compressor is constantly running. When you don't have anything in there, it's cooling air, so that's space, so it's doing this in your refrigerator. When you have items in there, it helps it to maintain its temperature, and the compressor doesn't work as hard keeping it cool because the items are already cooled down and the temperature is maintained in your refrigerator.
So you should have told me that. I need more food in my fridge. Duly noted. I'm gonna make sure that I stock up now.
And if you don't have a lot of food in the refrigerator and you have milk cartons or you have the 2-liter soda bottle, fill it up with water and put it in there.
Right. Now, of course, that's an appliance you would not unplug, correct? Because I don't want viewers getting confused about what to unplug and what not to.
Don't unplug the refrigerator. Don't unplug the hot water heater.
Right.
But anything else that you have in your house that is not a necessity, you can unplug.
Now, you guys just last week, there was a huge announcement from Leahy, and that's through the federal government that is supplying millions of dollars for
energy assistance program. And that energy assistance program is managed through the state Health and Human Services and Catholic Charities. So if you meet the income criteria, it's a wonderful thing to do. They have a heating and cooling program. So now that those dollars are available after COVID, because they didn't do it last year, there's millions of dollars that are coming.
So what does the program actually do? And it's for specifically seniors, correct?
Yeah, it's for everybody.
Oh, it's for everyone.
It's income eligible.
Okay.
So, and there'll be a press release went out today, and it'll be in the news journal or in the news. I can't just say the news. It will be in the news actually tomorrow. And everybody can see if in fact they're eligible.
Now, what else do you receive any kind of money, or you're just receiving assistance?
You get assistance, and actually you apply for it, and they actually apply those dollars to your energy bill.
Wow! So it's a credit. It's a credit.
The money can come in directly through Catholic Charities to Delmarva in that customer's name.
Gotcha. Well, that's good to know. So I'm going to be, probably like anybody else in Wilmington that knows Miss Enid Wallace-Simms, I'm going to definitely be reaching out, because I've learned I need to put more food in my fridge. There's a credit that I can get, and there's some money out there to even help with my bills. So if y'all didn't get those 3 tips, something wrong. But I can't thank you enough for being here, and thanks for all that you're doing for the community, and a special thanks to Delmarva Power and Exelon Company. You guys are doing real great service for our community.
Do our best for everything.
Yeah, well, I appreciate you. Thanks again, and we'll be right back. So we have the pleasure of sitting down with a gentleman that is known for his various impersonations, and my good friend and alumni from Cab Calloway, Troy Hendrickson. How are you, Troy?
Hi, I'm great. How are you?
Good to see you, man.
Good to see
it's
you
been
too.
a minute.
Yeah, it has.
COVID, graduation, all that.
I know.
Yeah.
I know.
Now, Troy. I always joke with Sarah and all of our fellow Cab alumni. We've had some fun while growing up at Cab and learned a lot. Would you say that going to Cab Calloway School of the Arts, it made an impact on the work that you do?
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, just giving me the tools to be myself and just kind of try different things. I distinctly remember being in Mrs. Fanny's class and her film class, and she gave me and Sarah free reign, like a video camera, go shoot, here's a hall pass, and we would make silly movies and stuff like that. But it really did spark that creative joy that I have now going into my career.
Now you're born and raised here in Delaware.
Yes.
Right? And while I know you as Troy,
Yes.
the other individuals that don't know you personally, they also know Miss Aunt Mary Pat?
Aunt Mary Pat,
Aunt
yes.
Mary Pat. Who is Aunt Mary Pat?
So it started out as a joke making fun of my mom.
Oh.
And bored one night and it triggered over from high school, just making funny videos. And the Eagles had just won the Super Bowl. And I called my mom up, and I knew she was out watching the game, and I knew she'd be excited. So I was like, oh, you're so excited. And she's like, shh, quiet. I said, what do you mean, quiet? Aren't you watching the game? She goes, no, Matt Moodell's buying up all the gear before they jack the prices up tomorrow. And I was like, this is like gold. So I make the video making fun of her, and then within days it already surpassed 100,000 views on Facebook.
Wow.
And just kind of blew up from there.
Wow.
So it's been a fun ride. Almost 4 years ago now.
4 years. Now, COVID played an impact, so I can only imagine, would you consider yourself being like a YouTube influencer using the character that you play as?
Yeah, I mean, definitely in that, I transitioned more to live performance. So I was on my first national tour. We had just got done performing in New York City.
Oh, wow.
And then the next day the world shut down. Nice. So I went from working 200 shows a year to,
wow.
completely being at home.
Wow. But you originally, you said you were doing certain videos and stuff, right? So I'm sure when COVID hit, you probably went back to that where you were in the beginning, right?
Yeah.
So how did the viewership, I'm sure it grew, did it not?
It did. So the page actually blew up. So we recently surpassed 120,000 followers on the Facebook page, over 50,000 followers on Instagram. And I would say a third of that happened during COVID, which was, pretty recent. Yeah. So it's cool to see kind of that longevity, occur. But I had to get back into that mindset of making videos constantly, and I tried a few new characters and stuff like that. So it really did help with creativity and trying new things.
Now, how would you say the characters that you've played, I'm sure with the amount of followers and fans that you have, it's probably made an impact on those followers and fans, right?
Yeah, I think for sure. It's always fun to see what people are interested in, what videos take off and what kind of don't, because a lot of my favorite ones that I've done aren't the most popular ones, but stuff that I thought was stupid, takes off. But I think you never know. You just have to try everything and see what works. But having so many people engage and interact and appreciate your art and your work is really rewarding.
Yeah, I can only imagine. Now, how's your family feel about it?
So my mom was really upset at first because she thought people were making fun of her. Well, I was making fun of her. Okay. But then when she saw how popular it became, she was like, "Yeah, it's about me. It's about me."
Well, you gotta laugh at yourself, right?
Exactly.
Every now and then.
And then me and my partner, we have 2 kids. So they're young school age. And I remember that one of the first times we went out in public, me and my daughter, after the videos had taken off, were in Petco shopping, and I think she was like 4 at the time. And a lady walked up screaming, "Aunt Mary Pat!" And Bella was like, what is going on? It was so weird. And people would ask her in her school, and she was in elementary school, asking her to get autographs. Right. When she came home, I'm like, well, this is madness. You know what I mean? Yeah. I don't take myself that seriously. So it's funny to, kind of see how serious people take it.
Now, how I'm sure now that we're getting back to the sense of normalcy, how are you feeling with, getting Aunt Mary Pat back on the road along with the other characters that you play through your impersonation roles? How are you feeling about that?
Yeah, it's nice. So I also, on top of doing Aunt Mary Pat, have been doing drag professionally for the past 10 years. Okay. And so to be working full time out there traveling and then to not do it, it was really upsetting. And then to be able to finally get back out there on the road and tour again and see people's faces and that excitement, that first show post-COVID was the most exciting thing in the world for me. So it's really nice. It's really fun to get back out there and to have people, buying tickets again and seeing live shows again, and it's really nice.
Yeah, well, I'm excited for you, but I won't have the pleasure, but I'll be watching. But I know Kristen and JJ are going to have the pleasure of meeting Aunt Mary Pat. So you got to make sure you let her know Jordan said what's up. So I'm glad to have you on the show, Troy,
absolutely.
and keep doing the great work that you're doing, man.
Thank you. I'm glad to be
I'm
here.
sure you're making a great impact in this community.
Thank you so much.
So we're going to have the pleasure of sitting down with Aunt Mary Pat. We'll be right back.
His daughter got murdered. Oh my God. What is going on in this town? We already have one missing girl and now we have another dead girl. Yeah, I'm not doing all the overtime. I mean, I'll solve it, but this is getting ridiculous. Okay? Alright, I'll be there. Alright, where was she found? In a creek? Alright, I'll head down that way. Alright, yeah, I gotta go past Ripley. And then I gotta drive through, Chester, and then make a left around Sharon Hill, and then go past Darby, but I'll be there. Alright. You too. Alright, bye. Ma, I'm heading out. Alright, watch the kids. Someone's daughter's been murdered. And I gotta go out. I don't like it neither, but that's my job as this town's only detective. Alright, Mayor, well, hurry back, alright? Because we're gonna go over to your ex-husband's house and party with them because he's getting married to somebody else and it looks promising, so hurry back. Alright, and don't do nothing stupid like plant heroin in someone's car. Alright, love ya. Bye, hon. I gotta clear my head. There's only one place I can do that at.
Oh, that was so awesome. That was the latest viral video from Aunt Mary Pat.
Yep, and with us now is the online sensation herself, Aunt Mary Pat.
Hey, hon.
Hello.
How you doing?
I'm doing good. How are you guys? So good to be here.
I'm so happy to have you. That's
Thank
for
you
sure.
so much.
So
yes,
exciting.
I just did my parody Aunt Mare of Easttown. As you know, they shot it in Delco, and Kate Winslet did a interesting Delco accent. So I decided to do my own and recreate the show.
Oh, that's
it.
great.
I thought,
really
I did a pretty good job.
You did a fantastic
I'm
job.
expecting an Oscar out of this, okay?
I mean, now how much practice and work did you put into the accent?
Oh, nothing.
Nothing. You just
No.
it naturally came to you.
It was just like I cracked open a cold one and then whatever came out.
Came out.
You're such a hoot. I love it.
Oh man, that's fantastic. So okay, so you've got this going on.
Yes.
But here's my first question. So let's take it back just a little bit. What prompted you to want to start doing like these videos and really just putting yourself out there?
Well, here's what happened. I was FaceTiming my nephew Garrett, and he was like, "Oh, Mary Pat, you're so hilarious. You're so hilarious. You should talk to the peoples on the Facebooks." So then, I was sitting around bored one night and just made a video talking about the Eagles winning the Super Bowl and talking about my day. And then people started sharing it, and then I had to go to the Acme, and people were like, "Oh my God, Jen!" I'm like, "Let me work," It was just, a whole mess, but I had so much fun with it, and we kept making more videos, and people kept tuning in. So
yeah, I mean, how many followers are you at now?
we have 120,000 followers on Facebook. I think
awesome.
55,000 on Instagrams, and who knows how many on YouTube's is, but I don't know.
That's
You don't know?
awesome. How long have you been going at it? I'm super
So
curious.
almost 4 years now. I started
4 years,
doing this,
okay.
yes, quite a while, and still while working at the Acme every day. And it's just real. I just like to do what I do and have fun. And now we've been going out on tour and making music and all these. I'm like the Stevie Nicks to Delco. It seems like.
So listen, I actually shop at Acme, and there are always some kind of shenanigans going on. Tell me how much of a riot it is for you to be at work at Acme and all of the folks who are shopping? Like, tell me some of the fun. Give me like a story.
Well, COVID alone, there's like so many things. So as you know, during COVID, they were sold out of paper towels, sold out of toilet paper, and people would go in. They'd go on Facebook Marketplace and sell it in the parking lot for like 20,000 times the price.
At the Acme.
At the Acme, in the parking lot. Break it up. Come on, I know what you're doing over there. But I think, you know, the craziest thing that happened was there was a literal fist fight over the last pack of Charmin Ultra Soft in aisle 1 at the Acme. And guess who had to break it up?
Was it you?
It was. I picked them both up and carried them out. There were 2 90-year-old women.
Oh my God.
Yeah, Dottie and Margie. And
and they're regulars, you know
them.
them.
Well, the seniors, they came in every day.
Yeah.
You know, they had the senior hour from 8 to 9.
In the morning, first thing in the morning.
And they thought it was like a requirement. They would come in and do their steps and everything. I don't even know what happened.
That was their safe time, right? That was their safe time to
Exactly.
come outside, yeah?
Exactly.
Okay.
Yep.
Oh
So we can't talk about Acme, though, without talking about Dawn.
Yes.
Come on, spill the tea about
If
Dawn.
Dawn,
Come
if you're
on.
watching this, you know what you did. I'll tell you guys anyway. So
Okay.
she went into my locker and stole my Bon Jovi CD and then acted like she didn't. And I was like, Dawn, I'm the only person in 2021 with a friggin' Discman. So I know you took it.
What did
she
Dawn
has-
say? Oh.
And then she won Employee of the Year. On top
I
of
know.
it.
Listen, I saw your video about that. I watch this all the time. Like, I
making
am,
me upset just
I
talking
am
about it.
caught up with, like, I am so obsessed with what's happening at the Acme and in your life. So I
Yes.
watch the videos all the time. And when you told me that she got Employee of the Month over you, or Employee of the Year over
Yes,
you,
yes.
I did write to the manager, by the way.
Thank you.
I wrote on your behalf.
Thank you. And I think a lot of people did, and I don't know if you follow me on the Instagrams, but Acme Markets recently announced they made me Employee of the Decade.
Awesome.
And
Dawn can't beat that.
No, she
Yeah.
can't. But just in title, not in salary increase. So
Oh,
I'm still
well.
waiting on that. They did send me like a gift card to Kohl's or something like that. I don't know.
Which, listen,
Yeah,
I know.
we know you love your Kohl.
I do. So I did
Yeah,
use it
good.
right away. Yes, I did. Got a little Kohl's cash from it too.
There you
So
go.
thanks,
Very
Acme.
nice.
I'm so curious. So now that you've been doing these videos, what's next for you? What more do you have going on? You said you're touring music, so.
Yes, so we had our first album come out in 2019 called Talk of the Township.
Okay.
We're celebrating the 3-year anniversary of my first song called Doing Good. And we're currently on the Down the Shore and More tour. So we're starting back, getting down the shore and going to different places again. And it feels good to be back out on the road. But I want a sitcom. I want to go on TV.
You know what?
You know.
We should make that happen.
We should make it
Because, you know, I'm a
happen.
performing arts major, and I've been pushing Big Ive over there that we should get like a sitcom or something.
Yeah, I think
started.
so. That couch over there is a little too fancy for me, but
Well,
something, you know.
we could put something
We
together.
can put something
I think.
there. I like a
think
nice
we have the
sectional.
personality.
Yeah.
I agree. Indeed.
Well,
But I
that's
would love to
great.
do it. Yeah.
Yeah. So I didn't know you were big into music, though.
Yes.
Have you been in it your whole life?
I'm a shower singer.
Yeah, me too.
So,
Okay.
What's your favorite go-to song?
my favorite go-to song is probably Dreams by Fleetwood Mac.
Oh, that's
Okay.
such a
Maybe
good
some
one.
Heart, you know, a
Okay.
little Bon Jovi. I'm down for a good time. But yeah, so we have our newest song out is called Expletive. I can't say it on TV.
Okay.
But you can look it up online.
look it up.
And we're celebrating the 1-year anniversary of my song called Summer Days and Philly Nights, which we put together to kind of uplift some spirits out there for people who were stuck in the house and a little depressed. So.
Well, speaking of summer, what have you been doing? Because it's been so hot these past couple of weeks. What have you been doing to stay cool?
I've been sweating my blanks off. You
Yeah,
know what I
me
mean?
too.
It's just been too much, and I don't like it. I hate when people are like, "Oh, I love summer so much."
But
No,
do you
you
get done
don't.
swimming? Do you go swimming?
I have
do you
to
go
be
to
in
the beach?
ice cold water at all times.
All the
you
time?
know, it's just too much. I hate sweating. So unless I have a cold cocktail in my hand, I'm staying my little butt inside.
Yeah.
I crank that AC right up to turbo. It's like blowing me back like this, but that's how I like it. I want to be frozen. You know.
Yeah, well,
I hear you. All right, Elsa.
Exactly. Let it go.
let it go. That's what we gotta sing the Dawn. Let it go. Give me back the Bon Jovi CD.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Exactly.
Now I have to ask you this too. So you know, going back to Ive, we and I have been talking because I'm like, I need to figure out what to do with my hair.
Yes.
And I love your hair.
Thank you.
It's fantastic. It always looks so good.
Thank you.
What do you got tip-wise? What do you think I should do?
Go to the hair cutteries. They do a great job at an affordable price. I see Tina. She sits in the corner. She does a good job. And then I go down to the Walgreens and
Yeah.
get a little Vidal Sassoon and spruce it up a little. I do it at home.
Oh, okay.
You save so much money. And then I just do the Delco blowout. You turn up your blow dryer and just let it
Just
go.
go.
Spray it. Out the door I go.
Then
What
you're
about
done.
for color?
Oh, Vidal Sassoon.
Oh, okay.
Yep,
Right
put
in
it
there.
Well,
yeah.
all right.
This is like as close to my natural as I remember. I haven't seen my natural hair color in like 30 years.
I'm sure it's the same, right?
Probably. Let's hope so.
I think it is. Oh my God, I love it. So what do you think about length? Do you think I should keep it long or should I cut
Let me
it?
see, pull it up, pull it up. No, you have. I would keep it that length. I like
You
it. I like
think?
the curl
Just trim
too.
it up, just give it a good clean.
Yeah, maybe a little darker too.
You think?
Yeah, I think so. A
Okay,
little
you know
auburn.
I do have like a natural, I'm a natural redhead, so it doesn't come out.
A little auburn, I think would be.
You think would be good? Spice it
Yeah,
up a little.
spice it
I
up a
have
little.
been auburn before. Maybe we'll go
Yeah.
for that. Maybe the next time you guys see me, I'll
That'd
be
be cute.
auburn.
There you go.
There we
I
go.
like that.
I might take that advice. Love it. Well, okay, so what's coming up next? What do you have coming up? What is Aunt Mary Pat getting into next?
So we are currently halfway through the Down Ashore More Tour. It runs all the way through Labor Day, and we're visiting so many different places. I love coming to Delaware, so we have Middletown at the Everett Theater coming up in August. We'll be back at the Milton Theater in Milton, Delaware in August as well. And then exclusively on Good Morning Wilmington, I can say that I'm coming back to the Queen now that they're reopened. So we're doing a show right there on Market Street.
Do you have a date for the Queen yet?
Not released yet, but it's going to
Okay.
be in December. It's going to be part of our big Christmas tour this year, so I can't
I
wait to
look
come
forward
back
to
here.
that.
Sounds like fun.
Yeah, it's
I
going to be a
really
lot of
look
fun.
forward to that. Oh
Make
my
sure you come
God,
out.
that's fantastic.
Well, that's so awesome. Do you have any other questions?
I don't, do you?
No, listen, I absolutely love, you're a hoot. I love it. Thank you so much for coming and joining us this morning.
Thank you.
Come and experience Good Morning Wilmington with
I
us.
loved it. I had such a blast. Thanks for having
Yes.
me. And you can find out more about the Delaware shows coming up at www.theauntmarypat.com.
Awesome. And they can
Perfect.
follow you on Facebook too.
They can, Aunt Mary Pat,
Yeah.
on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube.
I love it. Well, we're going to get some wine later, you and me.
Yes, I'm
we're
ready.
We're going to catch up. We're going to dish a
I
little
saw a
bit
little
more.
bar across the
There is
street.
one right across the
All
street.
right.
We'll hit that later. We'll be right back, you guys. I don't know about you, Kristen, but I love Aunt Mary Pat. That was so much fun.
You guys had
It
the
took
pleasure
everything
of
out of
meeting
me
her.
to
I didn't
laugh
either.
so hard, but like, listen, Aunt Mary Pat is a hoot.
Yeah, she is. She's funny. She's really funny.
You're fine.
Yeah,
Troy's been doing these impersonations for a long time.
For 4 years.
Yeah,
a
well,
little
for
over-
4 years.
Almost 4 years, yeah.
Well, he said since the Eagles won the Super Bowl. That was 4 years ago.
Indeed,
Yeah.
indeed.
And
Yeah.
Troy, he's all over, and his followers, the list is just growing.
It really
Yes.
is.
And the fact that he just got this idea just
Off his mom.
off his mom.
My mom would kill me.
All love. We got
She
you.
would.
Family and entertainment, right?
Yeah,
that's right.
Yeah.
Speaking of entertainment, you guys.
Well, you know what's funny? Yeah, because it jogged my memory while we were sitting down talking to Aunt Mary Pat, because she does a whole spoof off of
Yes.
the Mayor of Easttown, right?
Yes.
Well, Mayor of Easttown got I think 16 Emmy nominations
Yes.
that they just announced back on the 13th.
Yeah.
Yes, and
Yeah.
the host for the Emmys is Cedric the Entertainer.
So exciting.
And
Yeah.
it's airing September 19th, so mark your calendars. We have host Cedric the Entertainer.
Definitely.
That's gonna be
This is
really
going to be a
good.
really exciting
It
show.
is.
I can't wait.
Yeah.
It's gonna be different for me because we didn't get to go to the movies. We didn't get to.
I know.
But wait,
Yeah.
Emmys, I guess, do they
TV.
do
Well,
movies?
you know,
so it's mostly TV.
mostly
TV
Yeah.
has been really different anyway. Like
It
my
has.
household, we are a streaming household.
Yeah.
Me
So,
too.
Same.
You know, Netflix,
Hulu,
Hulu,
Disney Plus.
Pluto,
Yep.
you know, all these different streaming services.
And
But
you
I
know,
will say though, the Emmys
Yes,
have
Star Trek.
the Emmys have really they've caught up with that. You know, they understand most people they cut the cable cord, right, and then they switched to streaming. So a lot of these nominations are from Netflix, and they are
Yes.
from
Listen, I
Hulu.
was taking a look at the list.
Yeah.
And I'm looking at some of these. The Crown is on Netflix.
Yep.
Bridgerton, The Handmaid's Tale.
Yep.
Yeah.
I know none of these.
Lovecraft Country. Oh my gosh, that's on HBO.
I have yet to watch it. Is that with
HBO
Journey?
Max.
That's with Journey Smollett?
Journey Smollett.
I need
yes.
to watch that.
Listen, if you love a good sci-fi,
She does a lot of civil rights, and then she blends it with a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
It's mind blowing. I'm telling you.
I have yet to. My family keeps telling me, Jordan,
You have to watch it. That's one of those series
Well,
I would watch again.
Why haven't you watched it yet?
I know, and I love Journey Smollett.
He hasn't watched it yet. We got to get him to watch it.
We gotta get my life.
Definitely, it's mind blowing. You would enjoy it.
I bet.
You definitely.
I mean,
would. Oh my gosh.
the Emmys are cool because there's so many
There
categories.
are.
I mean,
yes. There's There's I'm
Who do
looking
we
at
got?
the comedy series. So Blackish, I like Blackish.
Yeah.
We watch Blackish. That's like my family show. We sit down and watch it together. Cobra Kai is under comedy series.
that I don't understand.
I don't get that
Cobra
one
Kai?
either. Cobra Kai.
Netflix?
It's like the you remember what is?
Do you remember the Karate Kid movies?
Yeah, Karate Kid.
Yes.
Okay, so
It's like
Cobra
a fast
Kai
forward.
is now a new series on Netflix with The Karate Kid, where it's but picked up to like today. So now they're grown adults and
Learning something every day.
yeah. My cousin Louis loves that show.
Yeah.
Yeah, loves it.
So what are the top 5 categories?
What I'm scrolling and looking at, there's comedy series, limited series, lead actor in drama series. I'm just looking at some of the different call outs they're doing.
See, I do like my limited series though. What's in the limited series?
I May Destroy You. That's on HBO.
Okay.
The Queen's Gambit.
Loved The Queen's Gambit. Did you watch it?
Listen, I've caught a couple of episodes,
It was really good. The Queen's Gambit. Do you have Netflix?
I do.
Okay.
But clearly you two are watching stuff I'm not watching.
This was like COVID. This was the COVID binge watching.
I see during COVID I was cooking.
What about the Underground Railroad? That was on Amazon Prime.
That's with Journey Smollett.
No.
She was in Underground.
She was in Underground,
That's a crazy
But
thing.
the Underground Railroad, that was a Amazon Prime series. You didn't even catch that?
No. I know. I gotta get my life.
Jordan.
And now I'm struggling here.
Okay, what about WandaVision?
Yes.
We have a joke in my household.
Which is Disney.
Always call it somebody else.
Oh, that's a Marvel. Yes.
It's Marvel,
yes, yes.
Series,
Yep.
yeah.
And I'm watching
Every time that
Loki
comes
right
on, I
now.
fall
I'm
asleep.
watching Loki right now.
I just finished it.
Oh, how is that?
It's good.
Have you watched it yet?
No, I haven't.
Okay, did you? And then, well, they've been doing. I'm really loving what they're doing on Disney, on the Disney Channel with all of these different because I know in my household, big Marvel movie fan. Like we've watched everything, and then now they're coming out with these little. WandaVision was the first one I really got into.
Okay.
And I loved it.
Really?
I did because I just loved that they did it in. They went through the decades. So if you haven't seen it, I would highly recommend checking it out. It's really
I
cool.
think it was like maybe the
on
time of
Disney
night.
Plus. Did you see
I
that?
want to check that out.
No, that's good.
Yeah?
Yeah, Cruella, and it's if you saw the latest Joker movie.
Yeah.
It's like so you know the story of the 101 Dalmatians. Cruella took you to how she got to who she is.
I like.
Really good.
Okay.
So it's kind of like got a Maleficent vibe to it.
I like it.
So I'm looking forward to all this. This is great stuff. So make sure you tune in September 19th for the Emmys. This is going to be a great list.
I mean, plus just the clothes. I like to watch the red carpet in the beginning just to see what everybody's wearing.
Give me a tux and an ascot.
I'm super excited to see Cedric the Entertainer hosting this. I'm curious what it's going to be. I'm sure he'll put on a good hosting show. But
it's going to be good. And speaking of wins, I don't know if you guys heard of our local pastor, Dr. Reverend Sylvester Beeman is no longer Dr. Reverend. He is now Bishop. He just won at the AME conference in Florida.
Wow.
Orlando, Florida.
Wow.
So we're going to have to reach out to Ive and get him on the show.
Yeah.
See if we can get him on here.
Most definitely.
This has been a great show, you guys.
It really
Love working
Lots
with
of
you guys as
information.
always.
Always.
Indeed. Happy to be back.
Yeah, thank you for coming back.
Happy to have you back.
She just left us.
Missed you last week.
You always did your part. You handled it.
You
Gave
did.
some travel tips for AAA.
Of course.
Yeah.
Well tied in.
Yeah, it did. It worked.
Yeah.
Well, thank you guys, and thank you guys for watching. Big shout out to Ive and the crew at DETV. Enjoy your Monday.